It is December the 13th, 2021, here at 1730 UTC. There's your nice timestamp. Welcome, everybody. We'll let everybody kind of get filed in here, and then we will get started. Christine Barnum will be in here shortly, as well as Smart Rick will be in here shortly as well. Until then, this nice little bob your head music. There's DZ. And DZ, I do recognize that you are in here almost right whenever I start the space each time, and I appreciate that. We'll talk about some different things today, but oh, there's Smart Rick. Bring him up here. All right. Welcome, Smart Rick. How was your weekend?
Oh, sorry, I need to unmute myself. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty action-packed.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll bet you it was. This is your second weekend in New York, correct?
Yes, and I'm coming up on my third and final week in New York, unfortunately.
I was about to say, do you feel a sense of sadness from it all coming to an end?
It's not, because I'm just going to go on holidays and move back out here.
Is that true? I know you've been saying that, but are you really thinking of doing that?
Yep, 100%.
Okay, yeah, you're not thinking. It sounds like you're doing it. Awesome. Yep. Well, you're getting to know the area quite a bit, and between NFT NYC, Launch House, yeah, you've basically lived there the last month or two. Here, at least about halfway there. So yeah, you've been there quite a bit. So yeah, you should be ready to jump right on in there. You've got a lot of connections. I'm assuming you know a lot of people out there that way.
Yeah. I mean, I might be living in Jersey City, but I'm going to be a New Yorker at heart.
It's all right. You don't have to live within the city limits for us to all consider. I mean, to me, pretty much if you're in the state of New York, I'm going to consider you a New Yorker. So
I actually was on an elevator last night, and this guy, because there's a lot of people coming in and out of the house, and I introduced myself, and he was like the head of crypto investments at a $1.3 billion investment firm. Like, hey man, what's up?
What up? Right, exactly. How you doing?
He was cool as hell. He was cool as hell. Yeah, he was just like, let's get coffee sometime this week. I was like, for sure, let's do it.
Yeah, like, see, you're making connections, making moves.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. He was very interested to hear what TRADERVERSE is and what we're doing, and I'm like, I definitely want your money, buddy.
Yeah, well, nothing else. You are making good connections where they may pay off, if not now, later.
Oh,
Christine, sure. How are you? How was your weekend?
Hello. Really good. Still out of town, but we're out here for my daughter's cheer competition in Vegas.
Yes.
And I'm headed home after this podcast.
Nice. So we're the last thing you have to wrap up. How's Vegas been?
Good, tiring, but good.
Gotcha. Just wondering, did she win? Did she just crush the cheer competition?
Yes, she got grand champion, which is cool. And then so that is like it's like a full paid bid to Florida.
Awesome.
Is that your next trip then?
I wish, but it's like a bunch of them between then, because that's in March. So it's like Arizona, and then it's over here, and it's over here. And we're back to Vegas next month again. It's a lot. I'm sure you guys know.
It does sound like a lot. I do not have any daughters, so I don't have this in my future of that. But I guess at least I know there are male cheerleaders, and I don't think either of my boys have the gymnastics ability. I'm assuming there's a lot of flipping and a lot of tumbling and that sort of thing going on at these, correct?
Yeah, there's a lot of throwing them up in the air or whatever. But like, I mean, travel ball or like any sports as well, right? Like they travel a lot across the nation.
That's crazy. Yeah, can't imagine doing that. But as far as all that travel, but I know you're being a good parent by taking her out there and doing all that. So yeah, that is awesome. Well, I am Steven. I go by the Voice of DeFi on Twitter, but I am on the TRADERVERSE account Monday through Wednesday here on Spaces as we talk about various things in the crypto, stock, and NFT space. You just heard Christine Barnum. She is the founder of the OTC Club and numerous different ventures all across Twitter Spaces and just across the internet. And then at first you heard me talking with Smart Rick. He goes by Zach occasionally, and he's over in New York at Launch House, where he's shaking hands, making deals, and just making things happen. He is the head of community with TRADERVERSE, and a good one at that. He's always almost every time I talk to you, Zach, you've met somebody new.
Yeah,
Is
man.
that just a day in the life of you?
Yeah, man. I love it. Human interaction is what I live for, and if I don't know you, I want to know you. Like that's just kind of, unless you're shitty, and then I don't want to know
And then you don't. Are you the type of person are you good with names? Like if you meet somebody for the first time and then you see them a week later, do you remember their name?
It's getting to the point where I'm meeting so many people that I'm starting to struggle with it. But normally,
But traditionally,
I'm pretty
normally
good
you're
with
pretty
it.
good.
Yes.
Okay. I am not. And if I ever meet any of you in real life, and then we happen to meet a week later, and I act like I've never met you in real life, then
Come
I
on, man.
apologize.
It's Rick. Come on, work together.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, not ringing a bell. Uh, but seriously, even if we didn't speak day after day, I'm just not very good with faces. Now, eventually, I get it down, and I'll never forget you. But yeah, I am one of those people that just have some trouble getting your face just glued into my brain. So I have some trouble with that. But it's been a topsy turvy weekend over the with the markets. We've seen all kinds of just sideways movement in the crypto markets, which of course still were moving over the weekend. How? I guess I'm asking Christine this, but I'll bet you, Smart Rick, know as well. How's the open bell been until now? How's the stock market looking?
It's pretty bad, but if you're able to, if you're
Yeah,
able
it
to put,
sucks.
if you're able to put some puts on, certain tickers, I think you're doing okay. I don't know if it's like basically people are just, it's like a tax thing. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, well, historically, the time in the market is like a time for people to cover, um, some losses. Get those taxes ready for the first of the year. I don't know. December is typically kind of crappy, but January normally starts out with a bang. I remember last year, in January, February OTC market, I made a killing. Like I felt like I could put my money on anything and it would go crazy. I'm sure some people participated in that coming of fortunes. It was great. Is it guaranteed for this year? No, but typically the market works in like cycles that are pretty repeatable. But yeah, December's kind of a rough month, and normally it's like outshadowed by crypto, and where there's some like what's going on part. Like normally Bitcoin's supposed to be running like crazy, and it's just trading sideways. There's still
Are y'all surprised by that? About Bitcoin kind of running sideways here at the end of this year? The year after the halvening. I kind of expected a little bit bigger of a run in December.
I was surprised by it just because a lot of Bitcoin mining executives and people inside of that space, a common cocktail question on a lot of these interviews that people in Finch would have done and just questions that they've done with other people like higher professional levels has been like their end of year prediction for Bitcoin. And it always was falling between like 72,000 to like close to, if not like right at 100,000. And yeah, that ain't happening. So I was a little bit surprised. Like you just said, well, just like Smart Rick just said, last year around November was when Bitcoin really started to get wings. Sorry if you guys hear the microwave in the background.
lunchtime.
Yeah, I'm back home, so that's why I hopped on, just like last time. But no, I'm a little bit surprised that it's trading the way that it is. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. I'm not moving on any of the positions I have that are related to Bitcoin or in sympathy to. So
Yeah. It's definitely, the markets are uncertain on both ends. I know people that had liquid and were putting calls on certain tickers as well, and it's just not working out, and they're like, what the heck? So we'll see. And then as far as Bitcoin, I really thought it would rally where where we are right now, but maybe it will in January. Who knows?
I mean, my thought on all of this is that it is what it is. I still think the bullish outlook on just DeFi in general is still a general consensus. There's been tons of moving in from equities. We're seeing these crossovers of ETFs. Seeing NFT ETFs now with the NFTZ. We talked about that last week. Like the crossbreeding, the hybrid crypto and equities market stuff is happening, and it's continuing to. There's more people on the list waiting to get their piece. I know that the Winklevoss twins are trying to do ETFs. There's tons of organizations trying to do it. So I see all of this is still bullish news, and we just gotta hodl, right? Hodl.
But isn't that, I mean, to me, that's the recipe for opportunity, because I completely agree in that there's a lot of bullish news coming out, but the price isn't following it. Normally you might think, oh, there's bullish news and therefore the chart looks bullish. And that's not really the case. It's sideways or even bearish at times. And so, yeah, I wonder if that's just kind of a recipe for opportunity if we feel like we're seeing things that look good in the market and, we can still buy, I don't want to say at a discount, but at the current rate where we think it'll be.
Right. No, I think, a couple of months ago, like all the metaverse news, like Sandbox, Decentraland, Blocktopia, all Gather Town just raised $50 million. They're all using Ethereum or Polygon, which is on the Ethereum network. And so once that ecosystem is up and running, like there's going to be weight to it. That's going to apply to what's going on in Ethereum. Like all these big games and larger scale DApp applications like Traderverse, shameless shill, will be coming to these networks, and there'll be a lot of users, there'll be a lot of transactions, and ultimately the price should go up. I say that should. It's not financial advice, but like there's so much stuff staging currently in the current networks that I can't not be bullish.
Well, to me, at a time like this, whenever, we expected the price to go up and it did not, it's going just kind of sideways. It is our chance to be able to kind of breathe a little bit to the end of the year, look at different projects like Traderverse that you think might have some legs under it, going forward in the future. And then just kind of, learning about those projects, be ready for them. In other words, be a little bit more choosy, a little bit more, educated on the projects. Because whenever things were blowing and going a few months ago, people were just aping into things and not even thinking about them, and they weren't having to pay the price, right? They were still doing well, even after just aping in so hard to things. So, you ape in too hard on a sideways market or a bear market, and you're going to get eaten alive. And so now I think it's the time to just be a little bit more choosy and look into things. By the way, you mentioned Traderverse. If you'll look, Christine had put in the nest up here at the top, where we have our co-founder, Michael Herman. He discussed Traderverse on a podcast. So as you guys that are in here regularly know about Traderverse and kind of what it's about, you can listen to that podcast and hear maybe it from Michael's perspective, just to have a slightly different, voice talking about it, and maybe some different questions being asked for it as well. Have you been able to listen to that yet?
I haven't.
Smart Rick?
It's on I literally have the browser tab open to do it. I just haven't had time yet to do it. I'll probably, after this call, after I get a little bit of food, I will definitely be listening in, because Mike and I were friends before Traderverse even started. Like we were in a server called Brain Brigade that I started, and I love Mike, and like him and I both kind of come from the same like information, as like Twitter like DDers, and so like we're really excited about a lot of the elements of this product, because like we helped design it, but he is different than I, and I love hearing him talk. So yeah, no, check it out.
That's really good about the, not to just break down the team roster of Traderverse, but I do feel like all of you guys are pretty high level, all you, co-founders are pretty high level, but you all have different talents, it's kind of like a Voltron or whatever kind of kid's toy you want to mention, where, you all put your powers together, put your power rings together, and it makes a pretty formidable opponent. So yeah, I'm excited to see kind of what he has to say in that podcast, as well as just to see all this thing kind of come together, because it's a lot of fun seeing, the different pieces and seeing more and more chatter on Twitter talking about Traderverse. So yeah, pretty exciting times. Did you guys see that opinion piece in CoinDesk? It talks about intelligent NFTs. Anybody read that?
Yeah, absolutely. Christina and I were talking about this a little bit this morning, and like, not that they're in here, I probably could get them in here, but like our friends over at Nifty Ape Nation, they're very much in that space of the intelligent NFT.
So let's talk about how are they doing it? Because one of the first sentences in the article talks about how you could have AI-driven avatars hold conversations with each other. And that kind of short-circuited my brain a little bit.
Actually, when we first were introduced to them, and I've learned a lot about their project. Turbo is just a brilliant dude. But like they're starting with that that AAA rated game, like really high graphics, open world type concept. But big picture, like they want to use these apes to be able to like moderate Twitch streams, and like you can teach it dark flow, like dark pool print flow, and like someone in your audience could ask about like Tesla. We always use Tesla; it's an easy one, and it can give you like real time analytics in your show to like talk about it, like be your prompter. Like I was like, that's just too cool.
That is, I mean, that's, you say it's cool, but I feel like it's a little bit like Tradeon.
A little bit, yeah, in its own way. But this is like Tridion doesn't have like a personality face of an NFT, but
Yes.
could we do that?
I was about to say, you mean yet?
We'll find out. Well, there's a will, there's a way.
Well, I just want, this is stupid what I'm about to say, but
I'm here for it.
you're here for it. Well, I just want our profile pictures that we have right now for them to look like they're talking. We are talking. Okay. So when Christine talks, I want to see her talking there on her profile pic. And whenever you, Smart Rick, are talking and I can see Dead Puppets avatar, I want to see it talking. I feel like we have the technology for this. Why could?
She has gifts. I know that's about as good as we've got so far.
Well, I don't want like an elf me or whatever those things are where people are like singing It's Raining Men or whatever. Sorry, Christine, I don't know if you're singing It's Raining Men.
Hallelujah. I'll sing it.
Thank you. Yeah, this is what I want my AI to do of my PFPs is that I want them to look like they're speaking even though I'm speaking. And I feel like that's an easier technological hurdle to go over rather than actually have them come up with their own conversations whenever somebody has something. So yeah, look into that at TRADERVERSE.
I mean, deep exist.
That's true. Yeah, we just need deepfakes. Now, what do you do with somebody like, let's say, like, well, me from the TRADERVERSE account, and or anybody else that just has a logo? I don't know how that works because those logos. Yeah,
The logo can have a mouth.
Right. Well,
Okay.
it's like on TikTok when they have the filter and it just has like the lips and the eyes or whatever, and it's talking through whatever the logo is. We can just have that for you.
So I don't know why am I talking about this, but there was one filter I don't know why I'm going to mention this. Maybe y'all know what I'm going to say already. But there was one filter that people could, do that. It would put eyes and arms on it, and it got pulled because people kept on putting it on their privates. And
Ew.
yeah. So they wanted to see if boobs could talk, what would they look like? And that's what they put there on TikTok. So yeah, technology is pretty amazing. How it can.
It is. It is.
And we can do all kinds of fun things with it. But yeah, we're talking about intelligent NFTs. I think that actually sounds really neat. But, if you'll read, this article here on CoinDesk about intelligent NFTs, they seem to think like it could have a bad side to it of, AI NFTs being kind of flooded in the market. I mean, that's going to happen with anything of whatever's the latest and greatest of anything in the space, right? Especially the NFT space, there's always copycats.
Well, not even just that. Like, think about the malicious things that you can do with AI. Like, look at the crypto shillers. Like, I have to turn off the notifications of every Discord I'm in because if I leave them on, I get 50 messages a day saying like, "Hey, congratulations, you won something," or "Hey, this new project is going to be earth, shattering. You should buy it." And when you can have AI doing that for you in the background, and it seems like it's a real person you're chatting with, like when are we talking to real humans and when are we really talking to machines?
Ooh, I like that. So like a filter to be able to get the bots out for doing that. Because you're right, on Discord, that's exactly what happens. It's just message after message after message that, I won 0.5 Bitcoin and I need to just go to this address and to
you want to give me $30,000?
Which I want $30,000. What a good deal.
All
right. Here's what, do you ever worry? I don't say worry. Worry's too strong of a word. But you told me one time you had somebody tell you about Bitcoin and you moved on. I always wonder, in the noise of everything that's around, am I passing on something that's probably really good?
I don't know, but it's the way it's presented to me. It's just not genuine, and I know that 10,000 other people are getting the same exact message at the same exact time as me, or within a millisecond or two. Where it's just like it's like a classified in a newspaper. It's just like I don't even really acknowledge that it's there.
But whenever it's real people, so I'm on Telegram quite a bit with some other projects, and yeah, I'll get spam messages, and the only thing they say, because I do think it's a real person, or maybe it's a bot that puts out this line, "Hello, sir," and like I'm always like, what am I supposed to do with that? If you want
formal.
well, yeah, it's SER. Hello, sir.
Sir DeFi, how are you today?
Yes, hello, Sir DeFi.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
my father.
No, that's my father. I'm DeFi Junior. No,
Oh, I'm voice.
right. Yeah, so I get those, and I don't even really entertain them with discussions. But yeah, if you had AI to be able to parse through that to see the real ones versus the fake ones, yeah, that would save me a little time, and I would be interested in that. But that's not really what we're talking about here with AI NFTs, though. Here's my question: how do you? And maybe I need to read the article further to understand. How is that like a more centralized thing than AI powered NFT, or can you power it through the blockchain still?
I think you could probably do it without having it be on the blockchain.
Yeah. If it's not on the blockchain, I have no doubt that you can do deep fake kinds of cool stuff. And that's what this article says, is it's a cheap deep fake. But I wondered if basically it was just like anything else you might run on a cloud, that would be an AI, an AI enhanced graphic, if you will, rather than an NFT. Because we're calling it an NFT, at least from this article.
Right. You're not wrong. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see where this all goes and how that plays into like the metaverse too, because that's the other thing that we wanted to talk about was metaverse stuff. Is you know, um, you know, what happens when you unleash a bunch of AI NFTs who can walk, talk, and speak to you like a real human being in a metaverse situation.
Ooh, there's a good. I like where you're going there. So I'm in the metaverse. Me and you, okay, we're walking hand in hand uh, in the metaverse, and we look around and we see somebody, because you're smart, Rick, and you've never met a person you don't want to speak with, okay, and
Yeah.
you see somebody. Do you are we that close to where we talk to somebody in the metaverse and it's not perceptible of whether they're fake or not?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like being able to play, like talk to the NPCs and the non-playable characters in a game. Like,
Yeah, but that, I guess, here's what I'm saying is, right now when you get that message in Discord,
right,
know immediately, fake, fake, fake. Don't want it. Don't want it. And whenever you're in a game and you're talking to a character, obviously that's just part of the game. But never in either of those two instances are you fooled into thinking that it's actually another person. And that's what I'm asking. And we avoid things that aren't real people, right? So if we're in the metaverse and there's uh, Mark Zuckerberg avatar trying to tell me how great Meta is, am I running the other way? Am I just like, oh, I don't want to talk to that guy because it's a fake, it's a fake AI powered, advertisement.
right. Like, I mean, let's just be honest. If I see a Zuckerberg in metaverse, I probably won't engage regardless. But no, I get what you're saying, and like, how do you know if they're human or not? Is I guess what it is. Like, how do I know that I'm talking to Christine in a metaverse
Or not a deep
or
fake Christine, right?
yeah, deep fake Christine? Because I'm sure. Not that there can't be. Well, there's only one Christine. We all know this. But
How about deep fake Pear Bear?
ooh, that would be
No doubt.
That sounds
fake
confusing.
Pear. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the world can handle two of you, buddy.
A double fake, right?
There's only one original fake, right?
There could only be one.
Yeah, but there could be the fake fake.
There are. Here's one. I posted. I have an imposter as of today. My first one.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a fun, exciting.
I hope they're scamming and having a grand old time.
Well, you
But
made
so-
it then. I mean, that's when you make it, whenever you have a fake.
Right.
But is it a fake?
It is a
Pear
fake
Bear?
fake. Yeah, exactly.
Does that make it real fake? Because it's two
It's
cancels.
two negatives. Yeah.
It's like, woof. I need some time to like process this.
I know.
Real fake. A real fake.
Yeah, he's gonna have to change his name to the real fake.
Here's the. I put it in the nest.
I'll have
We
to
gotta
wait 30 seconds before it shows up there. I don't know why. I never find that they show up immediately.
No, they don't.
It's actually been bad lately. I noticed it takes longer for some reason.
Huh, interesting.
Mhm.
But yes, we'll get to it. But I think actually DeFi, metaverse, is soon to be coming. And actually, there's some good stock market news about this. Infinite World is going to go public. They are a SPAC, and they're going to be under the ticker symbol JPG. $700 million pro forma deal. It's a lot of money for another metaverse company.
And that they're just wanting to make, like you said, their own standalone metaverse. Is that what they're wanting to do?
Correct.
World.
Yes. Correct.
I have found that. So I talk to a lot of other lower tier altcoins, okay? And many of them want to be in the metaverse, and they will say it just like I just said it is, and we want to be in the metaverse, which is just like this generic term. And I was, I'm asking, well, which one? What do you want to, what does that mean? Where do you
I
want to
don't
be?
exactly. I'm glad you brought this up because what I've noticed is when I'm talking to like different coins or even NFT projects, like they're like talking about it and they're like, we're gonna be in the metaverse. We're gonna be in the metaverse. We're working on being on the I'm like, like this is insane. It's like the new thing to say, but who's going to execute it and which metaverse they're going to be in is the mystery.
The one thing that really excites me about this PR that I'm reading is that Infinite World recently combined with strategic partner Dreamview, which was founded by the team that pioneered, well, I can't read, computer generated imagery or CGI technologies for Lucasfilm and Disney.
Oh, I'm in.
So, well, not only is Steven in because of his love of Star Wars, but think about the latest Star Wars and the graphics that were involved. Like, I can't remember what Princess Leia's character was completely CGI, correct?
Well, yeah, she wasn't able to make it on set at the time.
Yeah, she had a. No, I'm not gonna make that joke.
A prior engagement.
Yeah, there we go. That was the joke I was gonna make. So we were on the same wavelength.
Okay.
But R.I.P. But that's so cool. And so what is the digital or what is the gameplay footage going to look like? One of the lines that they use with up to $15 trillion of wealth expected to flow to digital assets over the next 10 years, we are witnessing the birth of a new global asset class and economic system. That's some bold statements. I know the World Economic Forum projected 13 million by 2027, which we're at just under 3. That's 9 more $1 trillion worth of economic growth expected in the next decade. That's crazy. For food for thought, like the entire food and beverage GDP worldwide is 33 trillion.
Heard of that?
That could be a third of that. That's absurd if you really think about those numbers. So everyone's trying to get in, and like Christine was saying, I want to be in the metaverse. What does your metaverse experience look like? That's to be determined for a lot of these companies, but Ready Player One is on its way.
Are they doing a joke whenever their ticker is going to be JPEG? JPG is going to be their ticker, it says.
I didn't even think about that.
It's got to
They
be.
had to have planned that.
Had to have.
Why wouldn't they? Well, you could do 4 characters, so why wouldn't who has JPEG as?
I was about to say, is JPEG taken? Somebody look up JPEG.
I'm going for it right now because if it's not, I'm getting my. Oh, yep, it already is a ticker.
And what is
it? Well, maybe it's not. Hold on. No, is it JP Morgan?
You're listening
Alexa?
to live.
Processing information right now. It doesn't seem like it. It seems the only thing tied to it is a Morgan weird fund. So maybe, but it doesn't come up on the normal stuff.
Well, who knows? But for this SPAC, it looks like
if not, I'm
go under the ticker. Yeah, for this SPAC.
I'm getting it.
Oh, you're getting it. Okay.
I'm gonna get it.
You're going to start you a company, and you're going to be publicly traded just for the reason of getting JPEG as your ticker symbol.
Yeah, why not? That's meme culture, and
that's high level trolling right there. Well, I mean, I think the JPG. I don't think that's accident. I think that's on purpose, and it's kind of a wink to the industry. And hey, I'm here for that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Now, why they didn't do PEG, JPEG, I don't know. But yeah, JPG. I don't know what it's supposed to stand. I get the JP Morgan. I don't know what the G of it is supposed to be for.
Yeah, I don't either. Equity growth. I don't know.
We'll go with that. Sure.
Something. Yeah, let's go with it.
JPEG growth. Yeah.
I think if they did JPEG, which we think would be right, I feel like they thought it would become more meme ticker.
Is that a problem though? Is that
not to us, but for the suits, yes.
Yeah, you're right. For the suits, they would have a problem with it. But yeah, we beat our chest about it and say how funny it is, and it makes us.
We're consumers.
Right. We're true retail traders. She's right. The suits probably wouldn't think that's quite as funny. But the thing is, there's always the suits versus the hoodie wearers. Okay, I'm in a hoodie right now, so I can be a hoodie wearer.
Same. We coordinated before the show, obviously.
Yes, we should. What color's yours?
Black. I'm wearing my TRADERVERSE hoodie actually right now. One of
Oh.
So am I. Wait, I don't have one.
Oh, that's a shot. That's a shot.
Wow.
Can't she can't be she can't put it on her gram or anything like that. She doesn't have it. Okay,
Show's
so
over. We're going home. See you guys tomorrow.
going home. Can't do this in a non-TRADERVERSE hoodie. But yeah,
Not
so the
gonna make it.
suits versus the hoodies. You know, I think it's always been the thought of the suits have all the power and the hoodies do not. Right. And I think we've shown that that's not always the case. I mean, the GameStop, the AMC, you can come up with your example of that collectively. The hoodies can be quite powerful if they all get into the same, all in the same direction, if they all pull in the same direction. So, yeah, I understand that the suits wouldn't like JPEG as a ticker, but I guess I'm, for one, giving that I'm a hoodie wearer myself, should think that the retail segment should have a little more pull than maybe they're credit for at times. The only issue is the institutional, the suits, they can get pulled in the same direction pretty easily. They seem to be aligned, and it's a little tougher to align us hoodie wearers.
Well, one of the interesting statistics that we did for market research before we really started to do anything at TRADERVERSE is like we looked at where most of the volume was coming. And retail traders actually, obviously, high volume traders or like the market makers, they have the most volume. But
Sure.
we as retail traders outpace both mutual funds and hedge funds in collective volume on a daily basis in trading. Yeah, it was like 25% or something like that. I mean, still not, nothing to, we don't control the markets by any means, but we definitely have a say. And like to your very point, like if we decide that something needs to run based on what we're excited about, GME, AMC, like we want to run amok on this stock market, we totally can.
But we have to be aligned, and that's what made, like, say, GME with GameStop. That's what made it so unique. Is everybody started? It kind of became a beacon of the man, right? We're gonna buy this up because the man is shorting this so much, and we're gonna short squeeze it. So yeah, it became this kind of bigger than even institutional trading at that point, because we were all aligned into one. But don't you think it probably is hard to align retail traders all into one asset class, or even on all buying or selling one particular asset?
Yeah, absolutely it does, because like how do we communicate? So like think of like a Bloomberg terminal, right? So Bloomberg terminal, there's a thing called Bloomberg chat in it. So all these hedge funds that use these terminals, they can all talk back and forth in an integrated messaging system. We all use Discord and Twitter, and we get our information from YouTube, and we, and this and that and this. So it's like really hard. There's not a collective messaging board or one community at the top that's like, these is what we're doing today, because that doesn't exist, and that would be kind of collusion from us.
Well, what's
Reddit,
collusion when we do it? It's bad when we do it. When institutional traders do it, it's just fair market.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. So, and I think that one of the reasons why crypto has become such a amazing outlet for many of us in this room, to include myself, like we're the first comers. Like institutions are going to follow us, and they have been. Yeah, some of them like invest equity in some of these companies that are doing gaming or whatever, but like for like tokenization of stuff, like there isn't too many institutions at a high level just like buying coins. And, I mean, there are obviously some, but for the most, like the mass majority of them, like I have a buddy at Citibank who works in fintech, and he calls me and asks me questions about this scene because they don't know. So the more momentum we get as retail traders in crypto, getting that early entry into something that could be monumental to the space, to us, whatever it is, they're going to follow us. And so like it's a really cool opportunity based on community.
For sure, based on community. I just, as we look at the retail traders and kind of how we communicate, it's very disjointed. We're all in Discord, we're all in Twitter Spaces, we're all in Twitter, all over the place. And I can see why you guys, as you were coming up with, TRADERVERSE, why you kind of had the idea of this would be kind of a tool of the retail trader to be able to use, to be able to kind of compete on a different level with some of the institutional traders. But in the end, we all do have to kind of go in the same direction. We have to, and I know you guys will put it there front and center where you can kind of see what the rest community is doing. That doesn't mean you have to listen to what they're saying, but you have to at least see kind of where a lot of retail traders are looking towards, and having that kind of at your fingertips is probably what, kind of the genesis of a lot of this was for you guys.
Yeah, it started as an efficiency tool. Like, how do you process all of this data, all these social posts, all these influencers, all of this content into one place where no matter if it was published on YouTube or Patreon or Twitter or Discord, you'd be able to find it and you'd be able to organize it and you'd be able to make a critical thinking decision whether you want to participate or not.
Don't you think some of the institutional traders, as far as crypto, you mentioned crypto, and like for me, I'll buy an altcoin on you, no problem. It can be out of the top 100 of CMC. I'm not thinking a thing about it. High risk, whatever. I'll win some, I'll lose some, whatever. But most of the institutional traders, if their crypto isn't pretty much if it's not Bitcoin, I don't know that a whole lot of institutional traders are really interested. But NFTs, this is what I find interesting, is NFTs, it starts out where it's kind of something silly, it's a rock, okay, something like that. And next thing you know, now you've got movie theaters and restaurants and everything like that getting into the NFT game. And to me, it's kind of interesting because they're getting into something that is crypto and is blockchain, but they're doing it on things that are not super duper established, like Bitcoin or like Ethereum. So I like the NFTs that it's kind of at least introducing the blockchain technology through NFTs into a completely different world that normally would not look at crypto except for the bluest of blue chip cryptos.
Absolutely. And like, think about our AMA from Friday with the Dead Puppet Society, which I will posting the Me6 bot, which we used to record, gave me a fit. But I finally got the recording. I'm going to post it in the Discord. So go listen to it. It was awesome.
Yes,
But,
I recommend that.
But listen to like what they're doing. Like they are a group of consultants in Web3 that help various organizations, companies, brands, influencers, regular community people who want to launch their version of a Web3 project or an NFT collection through all of their different services and experience. And for like an institution, right? So like say, let's use my buddy Kyle from Citibank. Like if he bought one of those NFTs, he would get access to us, Dead Puppets, because I'm a member, and the community that is the resource, the community, their expertise in technology and processes directly to this Web3 space, and get in on like because they're going to be offering like whitelist spots to the projects they're doing. So there's a lot of alpha, potentially in what they're doing, and like it's just really cool. And for institutions to really know what's going on, like the word on the street, got to be a member. So I think we're going to start to see a lot more of that, more professional groups or more like organized groups, and not just like, hey, look, we're a fun group of people flexing our profile pictures, but like actually having something to accomplish, like helping develop Web3.
Well, it's an interesting utility. And yes, as he just mentioned, we did AMA on Friday, and he's about to post it whenever we get through here. But if you haven't heard this AMA from Dead Puppet Society, do listen to it. I really enjoyed doing the AMA with them. But they were some smart dudes. I really could sense kind of for the project. But even more, what I feel like it talks about with NFTs is the need for utility. Just being a cool PFP is not going to cut it soon. We're already seeing that almost every NFT project is saying, we're going to have a play to earn game too. We're going to, have this utility or that utility. And their utility is actually getting in early on other, good projects, which I think is a cool utility. If you want to get in on whitelists and things like that, holding one of these Dead Puppets would have that utility. But don't y'all feel like we're getting to the point where you can't just release cool pictures anymore? That's probably not going to cut it.
Yeah, probably. Unless a select group of tastemakers in the space are saying, yeah, you need to buy this. It's such a saturation for sure. And like what they're doing, I can think of the best way of explaining it is like, look at like Budweiser's NFT. Like that was a total botch. So was Pepsi. Like all these companies don't know how to talk Web3 yet. Like they don't know how to appeal to us. Like they know how to sell a product to us because we consume it, like a drink or food or whatever it is, but they don't know how to reach us at our levels yet. And like the puppets, that's like their sole mission is to ingrain like these big companies, and they're talking to a bunch of big ones, how to properly do this and how we treat the community and how we use it as a resource and interact with it. It's really quite interesting. And all the companies that they're talking to are like, yeah, no, we want this energy. We understand Web3 is a way, but we don't know how to speak it yet.
And do you think it's speaking our
Like hello,
language.
fellow kids. Like hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting into. Is I feel like you get a lot of "how you doing, fellow kids" with these brands trying to get in this space. They're using hashtag WagMe, and they're doing everything that they see and thinking, okay, this will make us really be one of them. And actually, it's counterproductive. We see some of this and we're like, you seem kind of
Steve,
poser.
Steve Buscemi like.
You kind of see Steve Buscemi like that's exactly right. Yeah. So you're not. I mean, we can smell BS whenever it's there, and I think because of that, you're going to see some big companies are going to do this well, and other big companies are not. And I think we can even look at Twitter as an example of this. Think of some different social medias from big brands. Some of them figured out how to do it, and they probably got somebody young to be able to run their social media. I can think of Wendy's. Everybody kind of liked their account for a little bit because they were funny. They knew how to answer correctly. But you saw other ones that just tried as hard as they could to be, a Twitter person, and it just never worked out. It looked inauthentic, and in the end, it was probably more counterproductive than it was productive, even though they spent all the money on it.
You got to go all in. You got to go all in. Like Wendy's is an example. Like they coined the term speed bagging is what they coined it as, and like this high level marketing company, I can't the name is off the top of my head, actually have like a team together building it all in. But it's 100% a buy-in. It's a true authentic. Like it is very much separated from the brand of Wendy's. Like they're calling Burger King bitches. Like it's entertaining. It's funny. It's unfiltered to a degree. Obviously, it's probably I would say PG-13. But it has nothing to do with the brand's objectives. It doesn't really make you scream, "I want to buy a burger." But maybe in secondary effects is like, I really love Wendy's just because of their Twitter account. So maybe now I'll buy burgers from Wendy's because they had a funny tweet. But that's reaching us at our level and not actually like advertising a product, but just more of an experience and a good time. And it just feels real.
Yeah, I think it's the feels real. But if you're a company, and let's say you're an established 50 years in the game kind of company, you have to give the keys over of your social media, and you have to give the keys over to a 22-year-old person and say, okay, be cool, do the cool thing, do that on
cool.
Yeah, and from that, there's some trust that goes in that because they're going to call Burger King bitches and everything, but they may actually say something that is not with your company branding or, maybe offensive to somebody. You're really having to put some trust into whoever's running your social media, and you want them to be edgy, right? You want them to kind of toe that line of what's good and what's considered to be cool and hip. And I think that's really tough to do, to give that kind of trust to, your social media manager and still let them do that. So to say they could do it in the NFT space, it may be even harder because we all have our ways of speaking, we have our ways of understanding what it is. Whenever we see JPG as a ticker symbol, we're all high-fiving each other and thinking it's hilarious, but other people might not understand that. They might say, well, why would you, that's what people say is bad about your space, why would you high-five each other because of that? And it's just hard to get. I don't think that everybody can get it at first glance.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's, you got to pick your battles, though, I guess. But I think that the Web3 community, a lot of the people in this audience right now, I think prefer personalized, like edgy, fun, like I feel like the person who's running that account is one person and they're my friend and we have the same sort of like inside jokes with our friends and we're goofy and weird and like it's more real than, hey, check out our Angus steak burger, limited time, $4.99 kind of thing. Like no one gives a shit about that at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, we do want kind of a sense of belonging. Like, tomorrow, if you come in here and I say something about, the hoodie brigade or something like that, you'll know what I'm talking about. And yeah, there gets to be kind of inclusion and community. And maybe that's ultimately what we're getting to, because that's really big with NFTs or even crypto for that matter, is the community around something and behind something. And so, yeah, to start making your own community, if you're one of these big brands, that could be really tough. And getting into AI, doing it in a metaverse, well, that could be even tougher, because I think that we could smell BS so quickly that we would avoid, it'd almost be like skipping ads or something like that. And then now my mind is going all over the place as I think about the metaverse and how I'm trying to run away from Mark Zuckerberg, but it's like an ad blocker, right? Where I can't, and I have to listen to, some sort of ad, some sort of AI being, and I have to have a 30-second conversation with them before I can move on. It's like a pre-roll ad. Does this sound like a horrible metaverse that I'm coming up with?
It does sound like Web 2 meets Web 2 meets metaverse. Yeah.
I like this that you just shared. What is Wendy gone goth? What's happening?
Well, yeah, like MySpace had that big announcement, and this is what I mean when I say like they're very current eventsy. Like MySpace came back. They also published their own MySpace, the Wendy's playlist. I think on Spotify. But yeah, they came out with MySpace said they're coming back or something like that, and so now that's what they posted. I think that's really funny.
Emo Wendy's.
Yes, emo Wendy's. Scene Wendy's.
Scene Wendy's. Yes.
It was never a phase.
It was never a phase. Love that. Yeah. Is this a series they have? I want to see Wendy in more time specific times.
Me too. Yeah.
I like the 90s. I'd like to see alternative grunge Wendy. I would also like to see hip hop Wendy. That would be interesting. Yeah. I just feel like there's maybe some hair band from the 80s or something like that. I don't know. There's some possibilities here that call me Wendy's. I can help you out.
What Wendy's should have an NFT line.
Do they not already? Surely.
Yeah, I'm sure they already have that coming tomorrow.
Right. I mean, I'm Googling Wendy's NFT.
Guarantee you. Here, where's my drum roll? Come on, I need you.
Have one.
They have one. They have one. There we go.
But not official from Wendy's.
Is it
so
like
someone made one and it looks like Wendy, but it's actually not Wendy's. Like they made their own fast food punk Wendy, but they don't actually have one from the company itself.
Okay, so it's just just like me or you making.
Yeah. Wendy's hit me up.
Well, I think today I'm going to get me my branded NFT. I've told y'all before, I pre-bought tickets to Spider-Man, which comes out this Thursday. And they said, I think I would get an email within 5 days of the movie release to get the NFT. So we'll see if that's any good or if it's just trash. And if it's trash, then oh well.
You got an NFT?
I got an NFT. It'll take place in my wallet, and it can, get there in that lonely place in my wallet where you never really look at those NFTs. So yeah, we'll see if that's any good. I'll be able to speak more on branded NFTs as I get that. So I hope to get it by the end of the day. And I know they do have, much like your regular NFTs, they do have rare and ultra rare and different types of rarities you can get. So yeah, maybe I can get a rare one. But I've told you before, Rick, that I never get rare. That the only thing rare I have is my collection of how common my NFTs are. I bought a Ranchy Redneck over the weekend.
Oh, you did?
Shout out to Nick. And it's the most common thing possible. It's like everything, every trait it has was 50% of people had it. So yeah, I kept with my streak of so common that collectively it's rare to have that much common in one wallet.
That is so unfortunate. I mean, I have the 16th most rare.
I know. Well, 16th, you never know. You could be 17th by now. Somebody may have. That was supposed to be me.
How about your ape kids, guys? How about that?
Oh yeah. All right, Alpha Queen.
Yeah. Well, here's this, Christine. On Friday, I'm downstairs at my house. Does that make it sound like I've got a huge house downstairs?
In the grand foyer.
Right. I'm in the grand foyer. I'm in my side yard. And I'm looking on OpenSea on my phone. And I see, and the price floor really went down quite a bit on Ape Kids over the weekend. And I see something, and it's got, I think it's got a sucker in its mouth, and it had, I don't remember, some little toy on the side, and it looked really good. And it was like 0.85. Okay, what I thought was, this is it, man. I go upstairs, and by the time I get upstairs, it's gone. It's gone. And
right. People are scooping it up for sure. And it even went down to 0.59 the floor, and then now it's and then it went up to 0.97, and then it was like 0.8, and then it was like 1 ETH. It's like roller coaster.
Yeah, I saw that one actually over the weekend sold for like 7 Ethereum.
Some of those super rare ones they have. I just brought one up here to the stage.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, Crypt Keeper heard Ape Kids. What up?
My bad. What's going on? Yeah, I heard the Ape Kids. I was like, all right, cool. This is something I could probably talk about.
Yeah, let's hear let's hear the Ape Kids weekend update.
Yeah, that
How are you feeling whenever the price floor was going down, but only to bounce back?
yeah, that was crazy. I was talking to Christine like the whole damn weekend, like, yo, buy this one now. It's at like 0.6, everything. It was just crazy. But like I don't know what was the reason. I guess it's like when one person drops the floor, I guess everybody else panics, and it's just like a whole hysteria, and everybody's just like, yeah, sell, 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 sell. And then the next day the thing it goes right back up to 0.9, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, so I'm looking at their OpenSea volume right now. So like they have 4,600 of these bad boys have switched hands. It's crazy. These
Yeah,
things are flying.
we're like shaking the paper hands off. And then I know some people were mad that they sold because they panicked and they were like, you know what, I'm just going to sell, and then sold for like 0.6, 0.8. And then when it was going up, they're like, damn it, why didn't I stay? I'm like, you can't panic.
So I just did the calculation for like using really round numbers from the 7-day average price and the volume and what kind of money they could have made for their royalty.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
It's like $800,000. So they could pump that back into the project for marketing, activities, stuff for the communities, and they seem like they're the type that are going to do that. So very cool.
Supposedly, a lot of it went to charity. To my knowledge, a lot of it went to charity.
I like that.
And the Disneyland tickets for everyone that had that carousel.
Yeah, that too.
It was a plane trip, right? It was a plane trip to anywhere that has a Disneyland or something like that.
I believe it was a physical. I don't know. I didn't say anything about a plane trip. I know it was a ticket to Disney World, but that's the thing too. Like if it's not specified whether they're giving you a plane ticket and a thing. Because if I want to go to a Disney World in Tokyo or Japan or something like that, the plane ticket alone is probably like $3,000.
Yeah, I think it's just a Disneyland ticket to whichever Disneyland in the world.
Gotcha.
We got Baby Yoda, Ape Kid. That's a sick one.
Yeah,
That's
that one is crazy.
That's so cool, Baby Yoda. What's going on?
Yeah, had to snag one of those as soon as I saw they had it. But no, they are paying for the Disneyland tickets, but they have plans for a play to earn game, and they're planning on releasing some games here in the next like 35 45 days too. So they do have some plans with that money, and they're still reinvesting all that into the community, which is pretty sick too. So they had hinted at the people that had basketball on their items that they might be giving out free NBA tickets too. So, it sounds like they're definitely reinvesting
Alpha.
Yeah, definitely reinvesting in the community. So you see all the paper hands trading. I'm fine with that. I got 4 or 5 right now sitting on, just waiting. So let them go.
And I think that's going to be really the key for like I'll use this term lightly, but average folk, like people who aren't like super rich or Gary Vee or a brand that has unlimited marketing money, is literally to take every dollar that you make and reinvest it into what you're doing, develop the business essentially around it, not take a payday, and build that community up for where it runs itself. There's things to do, people are having fun, there's value add, and you just continue to do that until the point where you're trading for $200,000 per NFT. I think that's the BAYC business model right there.
I mean, that's a pretty good business model. You definitely have to be in a privileged position to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if you can reinvest in things, especially in this market. One thing I like from hearing about the Christine and the 2 Ape Kids people that came up here to the stage is you guys don't seem like your confidence is shaken in the project at all, that it went down. You saw it bounce back up, and it sounds like you're bullish as ever on the project.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
100%. Like, and it's even more special when you got it on pre-sale. So I got 2 on pre-sale. I'm content with it. Is no way it's gonna go below what I paid for it. So whatever, like and again, it's an investment not only for me but for my kids to one day enjoy it. So whatever.
I love it.
Well, I hope it is an investment in your actual kids, not your ape kids, but hope your ape kids are an investment in your actual kids. But
he's like, I don't have any real kids. These are my kids.
Yeah, he was like when I was saying it for my.
I wish it was just for me. Unfortunately, I do have not unfortunately, but fortunately, I have kids, and I showed my daughter these, and she's already like, I want a T-shirt, I want this. So I'm gonna probably do maybe for Christmas get her a couple T-shirts and like a jean jacket with the embroidery on the back, because I like own part of a company that does screen print and embroidery for like major record labels and a bunch of stuff like that. So yeah, that's gonna be easy.
Sweet.
That is sweet. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, guys, this has been an incredible talk. I love this, and I'm saying this to Christine and Rick. Sometimes we have a little bit more of an agenda of what we are going to talk about, and sometimes we don't. And usually, in the end, it's fantabulous anyway. Somehow we knock it out of the park anyway with good info, good conversation, and yeah, we even had a 8 Kids Club update here at the end. So, love having that. Love talking about the metaverse and NFTs and crypto with all you guys. So
that kind of gives me an idea. And for those listening, if you could help me with this idea, like having an update from different NFT communities to come on the show and talk about what they're doing, I think it'd be really cool. So if you know anyone, they're Lazy Lions or Bored Apes, or or just like an up and coming Doodles. Like I love the Doodles. Like where they can come in, talk for like 5 minutes about what's going on in their community in front of an audience. Like that'd be sick.
I love that idea.
Yeah, like we can update with Colin Jost and Steven, the voice of DeFi.
Yeah, I'm in. No, I really do like that. For one thing, there's like you mentioned, Doodle. I want to know more about them, but sometimes I just don't have the time to research all of them, especially if I'm not holding one of the NFTs. But I am interested in their project just because I'm interested in the space. And the best way to hear it is from somebody that holds. I mean, just look at the 2 8 Kids Clubs guys that came up here. They had lots of good info, I feel like, and you kind of get a finger on the pulse of the project too by having them come in here. So yeah.
So we wrap up. So someone requested as soon as I said that. So maybe he's going to help me with this idea. Bitcoin Doctor, are you there?
Is the doctor in?
Or did he just request to request?
Sometimes people just want to be on stage.
I mean, yeah, why not?
The world is a stage.
Sure. But all right, well, hit my DMs. Everyone in the audience DMs, even if it's just, hey, how are you? I am here.
Hello, sir. That's how I always start. Hello.
Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, hello, fellow kids.
So,
that right. Or just you up? No, sorry. All right.
Whoa.
All right, guys. It has been great here on Moon Monday. Tomorrow is NFT Tuesday, where we will talk about NFTs. That might be a good chance if you didn't get a chance to talk about your project. Let's hear some updates from you tomorrow. You're always welcome up here on the stage. You can always hear from myself at Voice of DeFi. You can hear Christine. You can hear Smart Rick. But we want to hear from you too. So don't let it just be us. If you've got something to update us with from your project or your soon-to-be released project, I'd love to hear about that as well. All right, guys. It has been fantastic on this Monday. I will see you and hear you tomorrow. Until then.
A lot of it went to charity. To my knowledge, a lot of it went to charity. To my knowledge, a lot of it went to charity.
I like that.
And the Disneyland tickets for everyone that had that carousel.
Yeah, that too.
It was a plane trip, right? It was a plane trip to anywhere that has a Disneyland or something like that.
I believe it was a physical. I don't know. I didn't say anything about a plane trip. I know it was a ticket to Disney World, but that's the thing too. Like if it's not specified whether they're giving you a plane ticket and a thing. Because if I want to go to a Disney World in Tokyo or Japan or something like that, the plane ticket alone is probably like $3,000.
Yeah, I think it's just a Disneyland ticket to whichever Disneyland in the world.
Gotcha. We got Baby Yoda, Ape Kid. That's a sick one.
Yeah, that one is crazy.
That's so cool, Baby Yoda. What's going on?
Yeah, had to snag one of those as soon as I saw they had it. But no, they are paying for the Disneyland tickets, but they have plans for a play-to-earn game, and they're planning on releasing some games here in the next 45 days too. So they do have some plans with that money, and they're still reinvesting all that into the community, which is pretty sick too. So they had hinted at the people that had basketball on their items that they might be giving out free NBA tickets too. So it sounds like they're definitely reinvesting into Yeah, definitely reinvesting in the community. So you see all the paper hands trading. I'm fine with that. I got 4 or 5 right now, sitting on, just waiting. So let them go.
And I think that's going to be really the key for I'll use this term lightly, but average folk, like people who aren't super rich or Gary Vee or a brand that has unlimited marketing money, is literally to take every dollar that you make and reinvest it into what you're doing, develop the business essentially, around it, not take a payday, and build that community up for where it runs itself. There's things to do. People are having fun. There's value add. And you just continue to do that until the point where you're trading for $200,000 per NFT. I think that's the BAYC business model right there.
I mean, that's a pretty good business model. You definitely have to be in a privileged position to be able to do
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
But yeah, if you can reinvest in things, especially in this market. One thing I like from hearing about the Christine and the two 8 kids people that came up here to the stage is you guys don't seem like your confidence is shaken in the project at all, that it went down. And you saw it bounce back up, and it sounds like you're bullish as ever on the project.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
100%. Like, and it's even more special when you got it on pre-sale. So I got 2 on pre-sale. I'm content with it. Is no way it's gonna go below what I paid for it. So whatever, like, and again, it's an investment not only for me but for my kids to one day enjoy it. So whatever.
I love it.
Well, I hope it is an investment in your actual kids, not your ape kids, but hope your ape kids are an investment in your actual kids. But
he's like, I don't have any real kids. These are my kids.
Yeah, he was like when I was saying it for my.
I wish they was just investment not only for me but for my kids to one day enjoy it. So whatever.
I love it.
Well, I hope it is an investment in your actual kids, not your ape kids, but hope your ape kids are an investment in your actual kids. But
he's like, I don't have any real kids. These are my kids.
Yeah, he was like when I was saying it for my.
I wish they was just for me. Unfortunately, I do have, not unfortunately, but fortunately, I have kids, and I showed my daughter these, and she's already like, I want a T-shirt, I want this. So I'm gonna probably do maybe for Christmas get her a couple T-shirts and like a jean jacket with the embroidery on the back, because I like own part of a company that does screen print and embroidery for like major record labels and a bunch of stuff like that. So yeah, that's gonna be
sweet.
That is sweet. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, guys, this has been an incredible talk. I love this, and I'm saying this to Christine and Rick. Sometimes we have a little bit more of an agenda of what we are going to talk about, and sometimes we don't. And usually, in the end, it's fantabulous anyway. Somehow we knock it out of the park anyway with good info, good conversation, and yeah, we even had a 8 Kids Club update here at the end. So. Love having that. Love talking about the metaverse and NFTs and crypto with all you guys. So
that kind of gives me an idea. And for those listening, if you could help me with this idea, like having an update from different NFT communities to come on the show and talk about what they're doing, I think it'd be really cool. So if you know anyone, the Lazy Lions or Bored Apes or or just like an up and coming Doodles. Like I love the Doodles. Like where they can come in, talk for like 5 minutes about what's going on in their community in front of an audience. Like that'd be sick.
I love that idea.
Yeah, like we can update with Colin Jose and Steven, the voice of DeFi.
Yeah, I'm in. No, I really do like that. For one thing, there's like you mentioned, Doodle. I want to know more about them, but sometimes I just don't have the time to research all of them, especially if I'm not holding one of the NFTs. But I am interested in their project just because I'm interested in the space. And the best way to hear it is from somebody that holds. I mean, just look at the 2 8 Kids Clubs guys that came up here. They had lots of good info, I feel like, and you kind of get a finger on the pulse of the project too by having them come in here. So yeah.
So we wrap up. So someone requested as soon as I said that. So maybe he's going to help me with this idea. Bitcoin Doctor, are you there?
Is the doctor in?
Or did he just request to request?
Sometimes people just want to be on stage.
I mean, yeah, why not?
The world is a stage.
That's true. But all right, well, hit my DMs. Everyone in the audience DMs, even if it's just, hey, how are you? I am here.
Hello, sir. You. That's how I always start. Hello,
hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, hello, fellow kids. So, or just you up? No, sorry. All right.
Whoa.
All right, guys. It has been great here on Moon Monday. Tomorrow is NFT Tuesday, where we will talk about NFTs. That might be a good chance if you didn't get a chance to talk about your project. Let's hear some updates from you tomorrow. You're always welcome up here on the stage. You can always hear from myself at Voice of DeFi. You can hear Christine. You can hear Smart Rick. But we want to hear from you too. So don't let it just be us. If you've got something to update us with from your project or your soon-to-be-released project, I'd love to hear about that as well. All right, guys. It has been fantastic on this Monday. I will see you and hear you tomorrow. Until then, I love you all.
Peace, buddy.
Peace.
Bye-bye.